Hello, my dear viewers. Your math and chem tutor is back to discuss food additives. This was the request from one of the friends who requested me to discuss food additives. So I'm going to discuss food additives. But before I do it, please endeavor you hit the subscribe button just below this video because I'm posting the most updated way of responding to items with possible scoring guides. Please endeavor to stay updated for the current information of 2025 new curriculum chemistry paper 1. Now in item number 1, it is made from 4 topics. Either the item will contain food additives, or it will contain detergents, or it will contain medicine and drugs, or it will contain nuclear processes. So we have a product and processes. A product is from detergents, medicine and drugs, or food additives. Then a process is from nuclear processes. Now, in this item 1, there are 4 possible questions. A learner will be asked to categorize. The learner will be asked to state their use. The learner will be asked to state the danger and mitigate it. Then the learner will be asked to evaluate or give a similarity and difference. So there are 4 possible questions. But it's not a must that all the questions can be asked. Sometimes one of the questions can be omitted depending on the item here. For example, the item might omit evaluation or giving similarities and differences when it's focused on one type of food additive there. Now, in this item, I've included a scoring guide. We shall dive into the scoring guide as we discuss the item here. But before we discuss the item, let's first give a small background about the food additives. Now, what are food additives? Food additives are chemical substances added to food to produce a desired effect. So the desired effects can be the color, the shelf life, the taste, or the sweetness. Now, these food additives here are the ingredients that are added to food. So the substances added to food are normally called food additives. Food additives have different categories. So we can categorize them based on the function or their uses. So based on the use or the function, they can be categorized as preservatives, as sweeteners, as flavor enhancers, as food color or colorants, as antioxidants, etc. etc. There are over 3,000 categories based on their use. But also, food additives can also be categorized based on the origin. Based on the origin, they are divided into 2: natural food additives and synthetic food additives. Synthetic food additives and natural food additives. Natural food additives are those obtained directly from plants and animals, whereas synthetic food additives are those manufactured through chemical processes. But we basically realize that whether it's a preservative, it can be natural or synthetic. Whether it's a sweetener, can be obtained naturally or synthetically. Whether it's a flavor enhancer, can be naturally obtained or synthetically made. Whether it's a food color, so all these can be obtained from 2 different sources, can be natural or synthetic. So we can broadly agree that there are 2 major categories of food additives, either natural food additives or synthetic. So we can now align them like this. So based on the discussion, we can categorize food additives as natural food additives and synthetic food additives. Synthetic food additives, of which all of them or both of them can either be preservatives can be food colors, can be sweeteners. For example, you can have a sweetener such as honey, then you have a sweetener here synthetically made such as sucralose. So a sweetener can be natural and a sweetener can be synthetic. You can have a preservative naturally obtained such as salt, then you can have a synthetic food additive which is a preservative such as sodium benzoate. So we can broadly say food additives can be natural, synthetic, which can be further split down into preservatives, food colors, sweeteners to be more specific. Now, when we are categorizing food additives, a learner who says food additives, because these are ingredients added to food, is okay. A learner who says natural food additives is also correct. A learner who says synthetic food additives is also correct. A learner who is more specific is also correct. So category can be food additives broadly, or natural food additives more specific, synthetic food additives, or diving into being more and more specific and mention preservatives based on the item given there. So let's dive into the item there. So the item goes, Miss Barbara owns a restaurant in Iganga town but has been losing customers due to poor food quality, including unappealing taste, unpleasant color, and quick spoilage. To address these issues, she seeks advice on suitable ingredients. Now, the ingredients added to food are called food additives, or the item can say ingredients or substances or products she can use to improve the taste, appearance, and preservation. So here the item is guiding the learner that one of the food additives will work on the taste, these are flavors, will work on the appearance, these are food colors, will work on the preservation or preservatives. Task. As a learner of chemistry, advise Mrs. Barbara about category of the ingredients she can use, one use of the ingredients. Now, part A and part B have a block mark or their mark is tied. So the squaring guide for part A and B is here. The possible squaring guide with the weights here. So you can adjust weights according to how you want to assess your learners. So what's important very much in part A and B is to first attempt part A for category. So failure of the category, the learner cannot score on the function. So the code for category is C, the code for function or the use or how it works is F, then T2 is a code for the second level of assessment because there are two levels, T1 and T2. The block code is T for the score attained here. 06 is the maximum score for this part A and B combined here. Then part C will be scored according to this. Part C is assessing about the danger. So DI is danger identified, DE is danger explained, DM is danger mitigated. Coded D3 for third level of assessment, maximum score 06. So a learner who only identifies the danger mitigates is also score 06. A learner who explains mitigates is also score 06, and so on and so on. Yeah. So we realize the most important thing here is either identify or explain the danger. Mitigating the danger alone does not score. So identification or explaining the danger actually is the most important thing here. Then part D of the item will be assessing similarity is SM, difference is DF, second level of assessment, maximum score 06. So mentioning only similarity 03, only one difference is 003. So total score 18. This is a possible scoring guide for this item here. Let's dive into attempting the item here. Part A, category of the ingredients. So possible responses for part A are food additive, because the ingredients added to food are called food additives, so we can accept the rest, natural food additives. natural food additive, or we can also accept synthetic or artificial food additive. So we are categorizing. Now the item has some needs here. Improve the taste. These are flavor enhancers, appearance, food color, preservation, preservative. So a learner can also say food color or colorants. Then a learner can also say flavor enhancers, then preservatives. So a learner who mentions any of these scores under category here. So we put a tick and code C. Now let us look at part B about one use of the ingredients here. Now according to the item, we should look for the ingredient for the taste, appearance, and preservation. So if the learner does not know the name of the food additive for taste, can say food additives are used to improve the taste. Food additives are used to improve the general appearance of food. Food additives are used to improve the shelf life. Or can be more specific and say preservatives increase shelf life of food. Shelf life of food. Only one use is required here. So you put a tick F. Then below here, C plus F equal to T2 equal to 0.6 for a learner who has attempted them correctly. But if the learner is not aware that a preservative is the one increasing the shelf life, can just be general and say food additives increase shelf life. So possible answers can be food additives improve general appearance of food. Or can be more specific. Food colors improve general appearance. So a learner being specific and being general, both of them score in this item here. Now let's look at part C here. Danger associated with using the ingredients and how it can be mitigated. So the learner is expected to write one danger, explain it, mitigate it. So one of the dangers can be food additives cause skin irritations or stomach disorder. Any one of those stomach disorders due to allergic reactions. This can be mitigated by using recommended amounts. So danger identified is skin irritations, tick DI, danger identified. How does it occur? What's the explanation to that? Is due to allergic reactions, danger explained, then can be mitigated, danger mitigated. So we can use this danger identified plus danger explained plus danger mitigated equal to D3 equal to 0.6 as the maximum score. So other learners can be scored accordingly here. Let us look at part D. Part D, the choice of the ingredient which is better for use. The word better is a comparative language. That means we are going to talk about similarities and differences. or the item can say evaluate the ingredients, or they can say which one is better or which one is more suitable. Any cooperative language used in part D means stating similarities and differences. Of course, this is not a must. It can be omitted depending on the item. If the item is only one direction, for example, focus on natural food additives, this part might be omitted. Now, this part D will involve similarities and differences of the two categories, which are synthetic and natural food additives here. So we give one difference, one similarity. So let's look at the similarity. Similarity lies in the definitions of the various categories of food additives. What do preservatives do? Increase the shelf life. So they both increase the shelf life because we said whether preservatives, antioxidants, sweeteners, all of them can either be obtained naturally or synthetically. So the definition or the purpose of all of them or the purpose of each of them means its similarity in the natural sense or the synthetic sense. So we can say they both, here we are referring to synthetic and natural, they both improve shelf life, shelf life of food. They both improve the general appearance. So we put a tick SM. That is a similarity. A similarity is actually the uses of the various categories of food additives which are either natural or synthetic. So this is the similarity in both natural and synthetic, since both of them can be those categories there. So the difference between natural and synthetic here is natural food additives have less side effects compared to synthetic food additives. Natural food additives have less side effects than synthetic food additives. There are so many other differences. So we can actually narrow this. So we put a tick DF. Then we come here and say SM plus DF equals to E2 equals to 0.6. So total score for this item is 18 scores. Thank you. If you benefited from this video, endeavor to hit the subscribe button because the next discussion is on drugs and medicine. Bye.